Now, this is where the web planet gets silly. We're introduced to the Menoptera. The Menoptera are they're butterfly-like, and they look very silly. You'll be seeing them in this video in very sped up form, and I thought the ants, they're known as the Zabi, were super cool, like something out of Bird Eye Gordon, but well, I guess worse somehow. But yeah, it's hard to take the Menoptera seriously with their silly voices and the way they flail about. This is why people think Doctor Who is silly, and I think this is why the web planet has a negative reception. Plus, there are some effects later on in the serial, episodes 4 to 6, I believe, which rub people the wrong way. Some of the action sequences involving the camera lens, people do not love those by any means. We'll see how they hold up when we get to them. Let's read out information regarding the conception and writing of the web planet, because there's actually quite a lot here. In 1964, Australian writer Bill Strutton viewed Doctor Who and decided that he wanted to write for it, although he had no knowledge of science fiction. After his agent at Associated London Scripts contacted the production team, Strutton was invited to discuss his story idea with producer Verity Lambert and story editor David Whittaker. They asked him to avoid robotic monsters due to the success of the Daleks. Strutton recalled a memory as a toddler, watching two bull ants fighting inside an empty kerosene can. He linked this memory with his two sons, aged 6 and 4, fighting each other. He discussed the idea of Lambert, and Whittaker officially commissioned the story Doctor Who and the Webbed Planet on the 28th of September 1964. Richard Martin was assigned to direct the serial. Although disappointed at the scripts, Martin observed that they were as close to a fantasy adventure as Doctor Who should get. He thought that they had visual potential, but that the available studio facilities would limit it. He disliked the dialogue and found the scripts too short, working with new story editor Dennis Spooner on amendments. Martin overspent the serial's budget to achieve the desired visuals, which led to conflict with the cost-conscious Lambert. To account for the high cost of the props and costumes, Martin forewent a traditional original score, instead using recordings of musique-concrete performances arranged by Jacques Lazare and François Bachet for les structures sonores. Martin found the sounds extraterrestrial as they were created using glass rods and steel. Lambert edited the final episode as Martin had departed for a holiday shortly after its recording. She edited out a shot of the carcinome web dissolving, explaining in a memo to Martin that I thought nobody would know what on earth was happening. I would love to see that shot, and I hope it's not destroyed forever. That's very unfortunate to hear. Damn it, Lambert. The scripts were due on the 13th of November. Strutton wrote them while in the process of relocating homes. Strutton's wife, Marguerite, created the name of the Zabi. Good on her. Other names originated from an encyclopedia. The Greek word Lepidoptera inspired Menoptera, later Menoptera, and Optera, and Carcinoma inspired Carcinomi, later Carcinome. Spooner made edits to the script towards the end of 1964. He found the narrative to be multi-layered, with the Menoptera representing free enterprise and the Zabi communism. Spooner also made edits to tie the serial into the preceding one, the Romans. The golden bracelet used to make Barbara fall under the influence of the Animus was a gift from Emperor Nero and the Romans. Two of the Menoptera were renamed. Roster became Trosta, and Papillus became Prapillus. The show's main designers, Raymond Cusick and Barry Newbury, asked for a third designer to be allocated to the production block, leading to an appointment of sets and effects designer John Wood. Wood welcomed working on the show as it allowed more freedom than other programs. He used Strutton's descriptions to create sketches for the 8-foot Zabi. He wanted them to be believable while disguising the human element. They were also based on suits of armor for balancing. Lambert was enthusiastic about the design, though other members of the team were hesitant regarding its practicality. 4 costumes are constructed by Shawcraft models. Light styrofoam was originally suggested for construction, but fiberglass was used instead. The outfits were modelled on Robert Jewell, and they took around 30 minutes to don. For a shot of the Temple of Light, Wood was inspired by the Aztec temples of South America. That's all we have here to say about the Web Planet Part 2. It gets sillier here, but it's also a lot of fun, if you can accept it. Thanks again, friends. Let's see how Episode 3 will look in very sped up mode, if you're so inclined, next time on AOD.